Right, now we are back to our final session. So last sessions I've been talking about encourage everyone to practice putting the effort into developing the goodness so that we can get the muscle or the power of goodness, we can benefit from it. I'm just going to share, I'll make sure I'll read out some suttas. So I'm going to share a couple of stories, a simple story about myself. That's easier to share stories about myself. So as I say, actually that's advised by Ayya 𝑦𝑦𝑎, because when I first started to share reflections or teach a meditation day, and she said the best way is to tell people about your own experience. So then it is definitely right speech, because I can't say it's not rumors or from other people, it's from myself, and it's my own experience, so no one can say, excuse me, that is not what it is supposed to be. So that's easiest. And so according to her, at least it's more sincere. It's from my own experience. So there you go, the first stories, which I really like to share. Just to show you just a small amount of goodness. What can the power of goodness that can fruit or can happen? So this is a story. This is on my experience since in 2017. Ayya 𝑦𝑎, and most of you already know by now that she's my teacher. And she broken her hip in 2017, I think in the March. So we took her to the hospital, and the doctor was, not just doctor, the consultant and specialist was talking about, how about operation, because she broke her hip. So whether she should have an operation to repair it for the broken bone, or what we're going to do. The decision at the end is actually we're very lucky to have a surgeon. As you all know, most surgeons will say operation. Well, because it's work for them and it's good opportunity or whatever other reason. But in this case, she was admitted to Royal Perth Hospital. And actually, she was lucky to have the top surgeon in charge of the trauma unit on duty. It is, I think it's a Saturday. So, because Ayya 𝑦𝑎 have a neurological conditions, so the conditions actually affected her. She's not able to walk at that time. She could walk a little bit, but she could stand up, but she couldn't walk much. So that surgeon particularly, and they say that there's no point to put Ayya 𝑦𝑎 through that trauma of surgery because she can't walk anyway. With the surgery, there's no guarantee that she probably still could not walk. It's not the bone, it is her neurological conditions. And secondly, because it affects her conditions actually affecting the muscle of her chest. So she have, if she had the operation, she might not be able to recover well because it requires general anesthetic, which means she will have difficulties in the surgeon trying to organize for her recovery or the amount of general anesthetic. They might be able to give her epidural, that's what they're trying to do. But her recovery will be a hinder because she can't walk anyway. So in order to recover from a surgery, you need to be able to get up to do some exercise. So the decision at the end is no surgery. So that took, I think we spent altogether probably about 18 days or 21 days, I can't remember now, in the hospital. But at the end of that, probably in 5 days or 10-day times, we decided no surgery. Initially, we say yes. But because of the advice and consider her health at that time, so it's not beneficial for her. But the next challenge is what we're going to do. Because with a broken hip, her leg was being put in a box at the time. They call anti-rotation box, so she can't move her hip in order for the hip to heal by itself. But the hospital don't really want to keep us there. And I was there in the hospital as well. So the hospital basically kept two of us, even though they don't need to look after me. I was actually helping to look after Ayya, so I stayed there overnight. But it's still a cost for the hospital for another patient to be there. So what they're trying to do, and there's an argument between the two different funds to see who is supposed to pay for her care. It's just politics, but it's government politics even. So at the end, we need to have a big meeting because the choice is there's no rehabilitation bed in the public sector at that time, so we forget to get one. Two is the other option is put her into a nursing home for care because one person by myself, I can't move her by myself, and she's in great pain until the bone heal at the time. And so she have different teams. She have palliative care because related to pain management. And she also have, they call a geriatric team because she was in her 60s, so she's no longer in a young category. So they need to look into her other conditions in order to decide what's going to happen. And of course, a surgical team. So we have a big meeting trying to decide what to do. The meeting, there is about 20 professionals. So there's physio, occupational therapists, and the palliative team, and the geriatric team, and the surgical team, and the hospital admin, because they want to get rid of us. And we also have social workers and also the care company trying to decide what if my intention is to take 𝐴𝑦𝑦𝑎 back to the Hermitage to look after her. But the hospital have duty of care because by myself, they worry that I can't do that and causes me injury. So they got patient number 2 in the system. And which is very good. The hospital is excellent because of that. And they also, well, they want to get rid of her, but they can't because there's nowhere for her to go. And I told the hospital, I say, you can't just send 𝐴𝑦𝑦𝑎 to a nursing home. You got to send me as well. So they got to buy 1, get 2 free or something. It's costs everywhere, wherever you think of, or the company or the government, it is all government organization. So they, of course, not willing to take 2, even though I will be there to help out, to look after her. So they basically don't know what to do. So when we have the big meeting, I have asked her GP to come to offer me support, and her coordinator in the National Disability Insurance Scheme. So in Australia, we have a disability insurance scheme. It's not aged care, but for people who is not qualified, not old enough yet, but yet have disability, like Ayya. And the company who offers services and the rest of the health professions. I was really worried because I'm actually is the 𝐴𝑦𝑦𝑎 put me down as her next of kin, so I also have her enduring guardianship. So I have the right to decide where 𝐴𝑦𝑦𝑎 is going to be if she's not able to make decision by herself. So I attended the meeting with all this big group of health professionals, and I'm worried and concerned because I want to make sure that I can take her back to the Hermitage to look after her there. I don't want them to take her away because of duty of care to the nursing home. So I went to this big meeting. So I went through the whole meeting, and the surgeons was telling me, or the social worker and the physio was saying that Normally, they have this big meeting anyway for most of the patients. But most of the time, the family of the patients actually don't want to take the patient home. They actually want the government to decide where they go. This is unusual that for the sort of rare occasions that someone wanted to take the patient away. So then we all discussed how should we do it, and they asked me how many hours I will need help from. So I told them, 4 times a day, because I need to move Ayya. I can't move by myself. And actually the surgeon, which is very helpful, he's actually from Switzerland, but very good surgeon in Perth. Then he thinks that the best place for 𝐴𝑦𝑦𝑎 is to go home. And especially she got someone like me who say, yes, I'm willing to do it. And so he actually instructed the physio and the OT to train me how to use a hoist, especially at the time that she broken her hip. So we started off with 4 people hoisting her. By the time that she get home, she got to only have 2. And they also trained me how do I give instructions to other people to help me. So after the meeting, everything finished. So the decision is, yes, she's going to go home. And when the care company can provide the support worker, that is, I think, in a week time, because they need to get ready. They need to make sure that they can employ extra people. So after everything finished, I left. I got to stand up in front of 20 healthcare professionals, even though luckily I have pharmacy background, I must say. But I was shaking. I have this quiver in my heart that I don't know how I did it, but I just speak whatever that I need to do, or what sort of help that I need, more than whatever they could provide. But I must say, at the end of it, the National Disability Commissions offer more funding for Ayya, so that we have people come. And I also started a roster of volunteers to come. But the point is, I reflect on after the meeting, who or what gave me the right to stand up there, to speak, to say that I want to bring this patient home. And that's how much help I need. I didn't think of it at the time, because that's what I set up to do. Of course, I don't want them to take 𝐴𝑦𝑦𝑎 away to the nursing home, because I'm from Perth, so I know wherever nursing home do you go, you receive help, but actually you don't get the maximum care compared to what you can offer at home. Especially, I'm willing to be the 24 hours caregivers. But to convince the people that I can do it, and I'm willing to do it, to make them believe that I am committed, I'll keep my promise. Remember of our 5 precepts, but they don't know me, so I need to speak with confidence that I'm going to do it, and I'll keep my promise. Because they don't want the patient end up being neglected, because there's lots of cases happen in Australia that they are at home and they end up the patients in great trouble and they pass away because the caregiver didn't really look after them. So they need to make sure that it really happened. But when I was reflecting on it, who am I? Just like the Mara say, how this small nun, so-called, to stand up and say that, I will do it, and this is what I need, and how they trust the fact that I'll do it. But when I reflected on the whole incident, I just can come up with the idea it's just because I have a good intention. I will not get benefits, I will not get money, no, I will not get paid as a caregivers. And they probably saw me spending all 21 days, day and night there. I went to someone's house or went back to the Hermitage to have a shower, and then I need to go back there because I want to make sure that I got the care. And another thing is, I have the experience before as well, that someone need to be there to advocate for the patient, and you need to be there when the doctors are coming. Otherwise, if the doctors visited the patient and I'm not there, the person who meant to make the decision, and then you only heard the third or fourth hand information. And Ayya speech already being affected at the time. And of course, she's in great pain, so she on a lot of painkillers at the time. So, that's a little bit pointless when you're trying to tell the patient when she's not well. So I need to make sure that I was there when the doctors are sort of doing their rounds, or the specialists. So that is the only thing that I could think of, is because they saw me there day and night, and probably, I don't know, they trust that, I'm really act out of the benefits of the patients at the time. But I also have the GP and her coordinator there, so they have confirmation in a way that I have been looking after Ayya 2017. So I have been her only caregiver since 2011 or 2010, end of 2010. So that has been quite a long time that I have the relationship and the people knew about it. So just share that with you. So sometimes that incident, the experience, informed me that your power of your intention with goodwill will definitely give us, or give me at the time, the inner confidence and inner strength to be able to say, no, that's what I want to do. I want to take her home. No question about it. And they trust enough to offer the help, that whatever help they could give me, which is a lot of help, I can tell you, which equivalent to a lot of funding from the government's that particular services. In order to, in Australia, the carer or care support worker costs a lot of money because there's other charges, insurance and all those things. So that is something that for me to reflect on. There's another personal incident, not incidents, and most of you know that I have I left Jhana Grove, and the community of Patachar Bhikkhuni Hermitage is looking for a property so that we can start a small hermitage. We already started the hermitage, we just don't have a property basically in the last 12 years because we have been staying in a lay person's house. When at the AGM last year, I told the committee members, I say, I would like to propose that we purchase a property. At the time, most of the committee members, they are not a traditional Buddhist. So when I told them, I must say they look at me, they're quite silent for a minute. You're lucky, all of you really, have faith, and when you want to do something, everyone will come with you. Initially, they're just quiet, and then they say, okay. And then I can see on their face, they don't think that it is possible. Because we are a very small community, including all the Dharna people, we probably only about 100 people. All the supporters with regular contact, which come to offer Dharna as well as members. So and today, well, there's 1.5 years, no, less than 1.5 years, probably about a year since last year, because I passed away in 2021 in November, and I made the proposal in January last year, and now I'm sitting here. I can tell you that we are only about $100,000 short of the properties we would like to purchase. To us, $100,000 is a lot, but to a lot of people, $100,000 is quite a small amount for the purchase of a property because we are not aiming big. So it's just big difference. And now the committee will not say no. We are actually going forward with it. And we are on the verge of making an offer. I have a feeling my goosebump coming up again because I feel so inspired by the supporters and with small groups of people. As I mentioned yesterday, some of our supporters is going to shave their head, and one of them sitting here, Leha, going to shave their head this coming next Saturday. So I'm going to shave 5 female, and there's Ajahn Brahmali, and the monks is going to do 6 men. To raise funds, hopefully to take us over to the amount that we require. So at that time when I make the proposal, I could see the face on some of the committee members say, that's not possible. Same thing like Mara. Who do you think you are? Like you think we can raise so much fund to purchase a property? I did reflect on about it myself, just recently even, because I need going to share some reflections. So I'm reflecting myself, just examples and stories I can share with you. But this is an excellent example as well. Like, no, I just have a very simple intention of having a hermitage, a continual hermitage. We have it for 12 years. We have constitution, the association is registered since 2010, November. And 2010, it's officially 2011, June, that we have approval. Who gave me the right, like Mara is asking the Buddha, to have a hermitage? Is it a bhikkhuni hermitage? But just simple wish to offer the choice, a small choice, for women. Then to me, I say, when you look around the world, Asia, the monks got lots of choices, but not nuns. Even though it's a small choice, a small place for some women might find that a small place for training or practice is more conducive. Why not? So just a small intention, but with good intention. Of course, the benefits is I got a place to stay, but the other part of it is there's more work to do. But that is the power of goodness, or power of good intention that you can say can offer to us. So whatever you do in life, that is the power of goodness will keep us in good, can't use the word good, in the right position, the right condition, causes and conditions for its fruits, for us to be able to realize our goals. Let's say your intention is to be a monastic, or to continue on the Eightfold Path and leaning yourself towards Nibbana and freedom. That is a tremendously good intention. And do that, keep I can't say it's dreaming, keep inclining yourself towards that good intention. Because that's how the Buddha or all those monks and nuns that you heard about, they are arahants. That's how they started. They just keep practicing, having that aspiration in their mind, but they work towards it. Like all of you coming here today, You spend your day, imagine that how many people in Singapore, they are not coming here. The millions of people, and go around to do their whatever they want to do. I just came from my family. I don't even, can't even mention, or don't even want to mention the word Buddha Dharma, because, and I'm a nun. They're among the nuns. They never asked me much more. You know, my sister-in-law did ask me, why do you become a nun? She did ask me the questions, because everyone keep on thinking there must be something bad that happened in my life that I want to become a nun. I can tell you, no. Just same thing, just have the good intentions like you all do. I would like to incline myself towards freedom and liberation. And the aspiration need to start somewhere. You know, I can't just dream about it. So I wasn't married at the time, was single. So I have the good opportunity, I say, give it a go. If it is not working out, I still can come back. Now it's just a bit late. I must say, after 20-odd years and getting old, I think it's more difficult to start from the beginning again. And to practice as a pharmacist, I need to have a registration to register as a pharmacist. And when I ordained, I was informed by Ayya Seri that I need to terminate my registration. Even though my mom was worried, she said, we can pay for your registration, don't worry. But Ayya Seri, that's my teacher, said that it is not according to the spirit. To renunciation, which means renunciate your, even the opportunity or the chances to move back, to be according to the spirit. So I actually need to close all my accounts. I, take care of the house that I have or the car that I have and close my accounts. Basically, give up everything that I have. So let alone the registrations. Well, I don't have a choice. I did used to be also practice as a naturopath, so I have to, deregistered myself, terminate my registration as a naturopath, and then I need to do that. My final step is registrations as a pharmacist. Even the registrar called me and said that, but the nuns in the Catholic or tradition, they can work in a pharmacy. He even told me that there's some pharmacist nuns at St. John of God in Murdoch. I say, it is a different tradition. I can't work, that is our, one of the rules is I can't work. Only thing I could do the work that I can do is in Dharma, to offer my reflections and teaching free of charge in these traditions. I can't even say, I can't come here unless you pay me don't know how many $1,000s per hour to do something. That is its tradition. Just like all of you are very lucky that you associate with Theravada tradition. I was told that if certain tradition, they will say that, if you want to do a funeral service, they will tell you that how many monastic you want and how much money it will cost you. But if you go to any Theravada monastics or monastery or hermitage or whatever, you say, we need someone to conduct the funeral. No one will tell you how much it will cost. We just turn up and you just tell us what to do or whatever you want to do. If you say, you would like to have 3 or 4 monks or whatever, and that is the number of people who will turn up, the monastics. So that is very different. But that is, once again, is the goodness. All of us are practicing the monastic. We keep a promise that we are not charging or not to deal with dealing of money. And that's a promise that we keep. And so I encourage you to do the same thing, not money because you're a lay person. But whatever you do in your life, that is something that you can keep on practicing. There's lots of examples for you to see. And I said that earlier, why that Ayya Vayama got the help that she have. You know, she got 24 hours care paid by the National Disability Insurance Scheme. On top of it, we also have volunteers to come. The volunteers, they are just like you. They just say, I will help. Initially, they stay overnight, the female, and they don't know anything about, some of them not, you know, you would think that people will be tall and big in order to be able to do the work. No, our supporter, one of our supporters, she is Vietnamese. She's probably, just looking at, even shorter than Eileen. I can't tell, do not know some people. So shorter than Eileen, and she turned 60 this year, so she probably a bit younger a few years ago. And she have no idea about care, but she said, yeah, she'll help. So I just start a roster of people like that, and she'll stay overnight. Initially, in order to keep Ayya Vayama to be free of bed sore, we need to turn her and change her 5 times a day. One of the time is 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning, a.m. And I cannot get any support worker at the time to come just for an hour that time. So the last support worker will come between 9 to 10. I have to use volunteers. And these people turn up. I have a roster of 30 over people, and they just fill in. They say, no, I'll do that day, I will do that day, whatever day they will, and I train them what to do. They basically need to know how to roll Ayya. Actually, please do not have the misconception. You need to be strong, and it will ruin your back if you help anything. It will not. If you know the correct technique, the occupational therapist will show you what to do, how to stand and how to do the rolling in order to protect yourself and to help out. So do not hesitate to help anyone else when someone asking for help. When I ask for help, same thing. I do not know how I'm going to get out of that situation. How do I get 30 or people to come and help me to learn and train? Besides the support worker, I need another person. 3 o'clock in the morning, I got no one to help. But I managed for the first 6 months, every day, I have someone to come and help. And some people come twice a week because they want to help out. And what you can say that, what gave Ayya Vayama the right? There are these people willing to help. Because of her goodness, she had been practicing, she had been a nun for all these years. She had been helping out, and some of our supporters are really loyal because she have helped them through difficulties, a difficult time. So the whole family came. I can tell you that some of them, the husband would drive the wife to come to be a volunteer. The husband couldn't come in because it's 2 o'clock. Sometimes they just come to help and then they go home. At the end, we got to push it through to 11:30 or 12 o'clock they come. The whole procedures only take 20 minutes. So the husband will drive them, and the wife will come in to help me. And then after that, she will go back out. So the husband will be midnight in the cold winter of Perth. So that he will stay in the car. They might be working the next day, but they still come. So you can see that someone who is doing good, we will get together with a group of people who's willing to do good, and they're all making good karma for themselves. It's not just helping out, as you can see, but they're making good karma of themselves. So that is something for you to reflect on. The power of goodness, the goodness that we are practicing will stand us in good position in time of a challenging time in our life. whether any time or a time of old age, sickness, and death. I'm going to share with you. I was at Budhyana at Dana time. I think it's probably in July or something last year. One of the lady came to a family. She can't walk. They, of course, they are Sri Lankan community. So, because I've spent 10 years in Sri Lanka, so a lot of Sri Lankans is really appreciative of her effort. She was in Sri Lanka during the Civil War. So they came. She speaks a little bit of Sri Lankan, but she can't really remember. She's Australian, of course. So they came to see me. So of course, they say, oh, this nun looking after 𝐴𝑦𝑦𝑎, and this lady, I found that she's in palliative care. She's been given 6 months to live. I don't know, she have a thyroid cancer of some sort. So she came, and so they asked me to go and see her. I was at the corner trying to avoid seeing people because on the retreat, but I can't, so I went to see this lady. And she asked me a question. She said, what do you think I should do now? In one way, you can say that there's nothing she can do now. She's just waiting on palliative care. So she's waiting for her condition to deteriorate and wait for her life to end. So she was asking me the question. And I was trying to tell her, she did ask Ajahn Brahm too, as well. The answer is, there's nothing else you can do but to stay at present moment, be fully present to whatever is happening right now, with family, with yourself, with the body, and to practice goodness. Whatever time you left, even a day, practice goodness, whatever it is. That's all she can do. But when you really reflect on that, all of us seems like on palliative care, isn't it? The day that we was born, or we're only going to one direction, towards old age and death. It will not go turn the other way around. You know, I was talking to my brother, I said, wow, we are in our 50s. I still remember when we were young, fighting or doing all sorts of things together. But now, his son, 21. Oh my goodness. So we were reflecting, isn't it true? All of us only go through only one direction. So in a way, we are all on palliative care. And what we can do, stay in present moment and to practice goodness. I'm going to share with you a sutra. It is a famous sutra, and it is one of my favorite sutra. I do not have link discourse. I think that is from Samyutta Nikaya. It is called the simile of the mountain. So I'm going to read out this sutra. And this is a translation actually from Bhante Sujato that I'm reading out. So at Savatthi, king personality of Kusala sat to one side, and the Buddha said to him, "So great king, where are you coming from in the middle of the day?" "Sir, they are anointed aristocratic kings who are infatuated with authority and obsessed with greed for sensual pleasure. They have attained stability in the country, occupying a vast conquered territory. So today I have been busy fulfilling the duties of such kings. What do you think, great king? Suppose a trustworthy and reliable man were to come from the east. He approached you and say, 'Please, sir, you should know this. I come from the east.' there I saw a huge mountain that reached the clouds, and it was coming this way, crushing all creatures. So then, great king, do what you must. Then a second, a third, a fourth of the person came to see the king and say the same thing. The big mountain is crushing towards his directions. And so then, great king, do what you must. We all can imagine that, eruption of volcanoes, earthquakes, or people even worried about all the nuclear war that might happen. So that is similarly like the mountain crushing down on us. Should such a dire threat arise, a terrible loss of human life, when human birth is so rare, what would you do? The king asked. Sir, what could I do but practice the teachings, the Dharma, practice morality, doing skillful and good actions? So that is the reply from King Personality. The Buddha replied, I tell you, great king, I announce to you, old age and death are advancing upon you. Since old age and death are advancing upon you, what would you do? This is a question for all of us that is on palliative care. Sir, what can I do? But practice the teaching, practice morality, doing skillful and good actions. Sir, they are anointed aristocratic kings who are infatuated with authority and obsessed with greed for sensual pleasure. They have attained stability in country, occupying a vast conquered territory. Such kings engage in battles of elephants, cavalry, chariots, or infantry. But there's no place, no scope for such battles when old age and death are advancing. In this royal court, there are ministers of wise counsel who are capable of dividing an approaching enemy by wise counsel. But there's no place, no scope for such diplomatic battles when old age and death are advancing. So I shared a reflection last night about a stanza. It says, no bargain with mortality. Death may come, who knows? That's exactly what this sutras is talking about too. You can't bargain no matter how clever you are, how powerful you are. Even the king or even the Buddha have to experience old age, sickness, and death. When old age and death are advancing, what can I do? But practice the teaching, practice morality, doing skillful and good actions. That is so true, great king. That is so true, the Buddha say. When old age and death are advancing, what can you do? But practice the teaching, practice morality, doing skillful and good actions. So that those of you who would like to look at it, it is, I think, is in Samyutta Nikaya, called the simile of the mountain. So it's not from me. It is from the mouth of the Buddha. That the power of goodness is something that can stand us is good position. So practice the 5 precepts with earnestness. I've got some more sutras to share. I missed sharing with the sutras just now, so this time I'm going to make sure that I read out all the sutras that I would like to share. This is the sutras actually from Majjhima Nikaya, Sutra 129, called Bala Pandita Sutra. The English translation is called Fools and the Wise Men. And I'm going to read out the first one, which I heard about the story when I was just started. Actually, in Mahayana tradition, they tell me the same story. So when I was reading the sutras, I say, hey, it is in the sutra, in the Theravada sutras too. It is not just a story. So it is in the sutra. So there you go. I'm just read through certain sections on that particular sutra. The first one, I'm going to start from the beginning so you know what is the occasion this happened. Thus have I heard. On one occasion, the Blessed One was living at Savatthi in Jeta Groves, Anathapindika's park. There he addresses the bhikkhus thus, "Bhikkhus, Venerable Sir," they reply. The Blessed One said this. So I'm going to move down to a title, a topic called the animal kingdom. It says, suppose a man threw into the sea a yoke with one hole in it. So the yoke is something with the hole, so that just a string go around it. So it is small, it's not a big yoke. And the east wind carry it to the west, and the west wind carry it to the east, and the north wind carry it to the south, and the south wind carry it into the north. Suppose there were a blind turtle that came out once at the end of each century. What do you think, bhikkhus? Would that blind turtle put his neck into that yoke with only one hole in it? You can imagine what is the probability of the turtle, which is blind. It can't say the yoke is there, I'm going to paddle towards that. That is hard enough because the wind in the sea, in the ocean was moving, but let alone a blind turtle. Then the bhikkhus reply, he might, Venerable Sir, sometime or other at the end of a long time. Bhikkhus, the blind turtle, would sooner put his neck into that yoke with a single hole in it than a fool, once gone through perdition, would take to regain in human state. So someone who, a fool, which is someone who do not keep the precepts in a way, even though the translation is say a fool, that the definition of a wise person, which is keeping the precepts, practicing, and a fool is the one who is not keeping the precepts and not practicing. So the Buddha say, just like a fool who will be reborn as a human being, is very rare if you are not keeping the precepts and not practicing. All of us are very fortunate to be able to reborn in a human state and able to hear the Dhamma. It is so fortunate. When you really think about it, you will feel, wow, there's many people in the world, they are not. And as I said earlier, all the people, I think there's a restaurant around, and I could see all the high-rise building all around. All those people, they're not here today, but you are. So you are very fortunate. All of us are fortunate because I'm here too. So you make you feel that how fortunate and how good goosebumps of me anyway. I'm really inspired by the fact that we are so lucky. What do we do without the teaching of the Buddha to take us through? We have something that we can rely on to hang on to, something that we can work towards. And we have the Buddha to encourage us to do good things and not to be worried or concerned or afraid of old age, sickness, and death, because we got the power of goodness and the Dharma. And the bhikkhus, the Buddha say, why is that? Because there is no practicing of the Dharma there. If you are not able to reborn as a human being, wherever you're going to reborn, most of the places, whatever realm that you could imagine, no practicing of what is righteous, no doing of what is wholesome, no performance of merit. Their mutual devouring prevails and the slaughter of the weak. So most of the places, they're just fighting. So only the strong will survive. And I'm going to, that is number 24, if you check out the sutras on that particular sutra. And number 26, I'm going to read out that as well. So that, sorry, go back to the turtle. That's the story that I've been told when I first started as a Buddhist in the Mahayana tradition. So being told that how precious is the human life, that most of us do not reflect enough or treasure it enough. That's a rare opportunity for all of us. And the encouragement is for us to keep on going, keep practicing, so that we will incline ourselves towards the light. So we have, one of the sutras is talking about, some of us are born to have the opportunity to listen to the Dhammas. We're born in the light, and we are moving towards the light. That's what we want to do. Our investment, remember? We want the investment to be benefits, not just now, but in the future lives until Nibbana. So I'm going to, this from the same sutra, there's another section. I'm running late again. Suppose a gambler on the first unlucky throw were to lose his wife and child and all his property and then get thrown in jail. But such an unlucky throw is trivial compared to the unlucky throw whereby a fool, having done bad things, by way of body, speech, and mind, when their body breaks up after death, is reborn in a place of loss, a bad place, the underworld. So this is the total fulfillment of the fool's level. So Buddha was saying, even a gambler, you throw out a dice, you lost everything. You lost all your house and everything. But that's nothing compared to if you're not practicing. And of course, breaking minor precepts, you still can start again. But if you kill a human being, doing anything that's not taking, is non-return, you need to receive the fruits of your action. There's nothing, Buddha say, compared to that. It's trivial, minor. Even if you lost everything in being thrown to jail, it's nothing compared to the other payment like the fools need to pay. I'm going to go to fast forward to the last one that I would like to share on the same sutra. It says, again, when a wise man is on his chair or on his bed, or resting on the ground. Then the good actions that he did in the past, his good bodily, verbal, and mental conduct cover him, overspread him, and envelop him, just as the shadow of a great mountain peak in the evening covers, overspread, and envelops the earth. So too, when a wise man is on his chair or on his bed or resting on the ground, then the good action that he did in the past, his good bodily, verbal, and mental conduct, cover him, overspread him, and envelop him. Then the wise man thinks, I have not done what is evil. I have not done what is cruel. I have done what is wholesome. I have made myself a shelter from anguish. When I pass away, I shall go to a destination of those who have not done what is evil, who have made themselves a shelter from anguish. He does not sorrow, grieve, and lament. He does not weep, beating his breast and become distraught. This is the third kind of pleasure and joy that a wise man feels here and now. So doing the goodness, doing something good, and keep practicing, keeping the precepts, not just helping us now. So when we die, any time, as we know, we do not know when is the time come, but we know deep in our heart, we have done everything we could. We have not done anything that's bad, and we will lay down. We know we will not go into a bad place, but at least we know that we will be reborn. If we are not attaining Nibbana, we know that we are going to be reborn, to have a chance to practice, to continue our practice. So I better stop now. This is for you to share with you the practice, the reflections. Well, we meant to start our guided metta meditation, but I do like to do a short meditation because the next one I would like to go through is the recollection on the blessings. Just now I did read out the recollections on the virtue, but this is one of the ones that I really like, the recollection on the blessings that we have. So we have a shorter meditation, have a short break, and then we'll go into the final session of guided meditation. How about that? So I'm going to start soon, so you can wiggle a bit. And no official break now, so that we can start. It must be me. They always want to share more than the time allowed. So I hope you don't mind. I'll just quickly have a drink. So if you're ready, you can sit in your meditation. I just wiggle my toes as well. This is old age for you. So close your eyes, relax. And Ajahn Brahm always say, relax to the max. Let go of everything and let all your concerns and worries stay out of this hall. All you need to do now is to stay at present. And you sit like a post or a mountain, firmly grounded on the earth. You, like the Buddha, have the right to sit here, to be peaceful and calm. Relax and be at peace and at ease. You are not shaken by the winds from all directions. Your mind is open and expansive and totally present to be with this very moment. So when any thoughts arises, you know that it's thoughts. And when the thoughts disappear and go away, you are aware the thoughts disappear and go away. So there's no struggle, and just relax at this moment. And stay in the silence. So I'm going to read out the recollection on blessings for you to recollect, to reflect in your silence. It is called Mangala Anusati. Infinite in number and variety are the states of existence that beings are born into. I have been born as a human being. Countless are those who cannot speak or hear what is spoken to them, who cannot see to read, and who lack the power to reason and ponder. I have been born with all limbs and faculties complete. Many are those who dwell in lands of strife and conflict, and who are deprived of security and safety. I am living in a land that is at peace. Incalculable are those forced to toil without end, and who are driven by hunger and want. I have wealth to sustain the body and time to give it rest. Numerous are those whose bodies and minds are in bonds, who are not their own masters, unable to go where they wish, unable to think as they like. I enjoy great freedom. Without number are those who abide in regions where the light of the Dhamma shines not, or where its message is not heard above the racket of false doctrines. I have heard and understood the good Dhamma. Truly precious is this human life, and great are the blessings. I enjoy. I here and now, before the Buddha, contemplate my own good fortune and resolve to use this rare opportunity to work for my own good and the good of others. With strong determination, I will overcome all obstacles, both great and small. I'm going to go through it second time. Infinite in number and variety are the states of existence that beings are born into. I have been born as a human being. Countless are those who cannot speak or hear what is spoken to them, who cannot see to read, and who lack the power to reason and ponder. I have been born with all limbs and faculties complete. Many are those who dwell in lands of strife and conflict, and who are deprived of security and safety. I am living in a land that is at peace. Incalculable are those forced to toil without end, and who are driven by hunger and want. I have wealth to sustain the body and time to give it rest. Numerous are those whose bodies and minds are in bonds, who are not their own masters, unable to go where they wish, unable to think as they like. I enjoy great freedom. Without number are those who abide in regions where the light of the Dhamma shines not, or where its message is not heard above the racket of false doctrines. I have heard and understood the good Dhamma. truly precious is this human life, and great are the blessings I enjoy. I here and now before the Buddha contemplate my own good fortune and resolve to use this rare opportunity to work for my own good and the good of others. With strong determination, I will overcome all obstacles, both great and small. I'm going to ring the bell, and that's the end of the meditation. You can take a 5 minute break, and we need to come back for the final sessions of guided metta meditation and the sharing of merits. And I'm going to chant the blessings before we finish. Oh, the groupies are coming, turning up. I'm very fortunate. It's nice to come to a place that you have people who are supporting you and sending you good vibration and wanting to come, rather than nobody wanted to come. So this is the last sessions, and so I'm going to lead a guided metta meditation, and then we're going to chant the sharing of merits. I think they're going to project it on the screen for the chanting, and then after that I'm going to chant the blessings. So once again, sit in your meditative position. And close your eyes and relax. And when you breathe in the peace of this whole. Let yourself immerse in this peace. Let the sound of the traffic just leave it far, far away. But at this moment, peace. And feel the peace in the whole too. All the goodwill and peace that have been generated throughout the day. Breathe in the peace. And stay in silence for a few minutes. And before I'm going to lead a guided metta meditation. I'm going to repeat some words, so you can repeat that in your heart. I'm going to start with the meditation, the metta meditation towards yourself. May I be at peace, and may I be at ease. Repeat that and say that with sincerity and good wishes towards yourself. May I be at peace. May I be at ease. Feel the peace in yourself. May I be at peace. May I be at ease. Feel the peace in your body, from the top of the head all the way to the toes. In every single cell of your body. May I be at peace. May I be at ease. And then we move into the next categories. May my families be well, at peace and at ease. May my family be well, at peace, and at ease. And we're expanding our categories. May my friends be well, at peace and at ease. May my friends be well, at peace and at ease. May all the participants in this hall be well, at peace and at ease. May all the participants in this hall be at peace and at ease. May all participants in this hall be at peace and at ease. May all the volunteers who make this meditation day possible be well, at peace, and at ease. May all the volunteers who make this meditation day possible be well, at peace, and at ease. And now, our good wishes, peace and ease, is gathering together, is getting stronger and stronger, and fill up every part of this hall. May all the beings in this hall be at peace and at ease. May all the beings in this hall be at peace and at ease. And our good wishes, peace and ease, is getting stronger and stronger. It goes out all the way out from all the windows, all the doors from this hall, towards all directions, up to the sky, down to the earth. May all beings everywhere be at peace and at ease. May all beings, wherever they are, in the nursing home, in the hospitals, in the prisons, or out on the streets, may all beings be well, at peace and at ease. It's not just the being in Singapore, but all the beings in this region. May all beings be at peace and at ease. May all beings be at peace and at ease. The loving kindness, the peace and ease and good wishes keep on expanding as far as the end of the earth. All those people that are suffering from the earthquake in Turkey and Syria, and also in New Zealand, and all those people suffering from the war, may all beings be well, at peace and at ease. May all beings be well, at peace and at ease. We're expanding our good wishes out of this earth to the universe. May all beings be well, at peace and at ease. May all beings be well, at peace and at ease. May all beings be well, at peace and at ease. Now bring your awareness back to the earth. May all beings, all corners of the earth, be at peace and at ease. May all beings at all corners of the earth be at peace and at ease. Now bring your awareness back to the region. May all beings be at peace and at ease. May all beings be at peace and at ease. Now bring your awareness back to Singapore. May all beings in Singapore be at peace and at ease. May all beings in Singapore be at peace and at ease. And now bring your awareness back to this hall. May all beings in this hall be at peace and at ease. May all beings in this hall be at peace and at ease. And may all the volunteers who make this meditation day possible be at peace and at ease. We are very grateful for their work that make this possible. May all the volunteers be at peace and at ease. Now back to all the participants. May all the participants in this hall be at peace and at ease. And we wish each other and to dedicate the merits of our practice, and wishing each other to incline towards goodness, to incline towards Nibbana, freedom, liberation. May all the participants be at ease and at peace. May all the participants be at peace and at ease. And we bring our awareness to our friends. May all our friends be at peace and at ease. Share in the merits, to friends that who could not attend the meditation day. We wish them well. May all our families and relatives be at peace and at ease. May our families and relatives be at peace and at ease. Now bring our awareness back to our souls. May I be well, at peace and at ease. May I be well, at peace and at ease. May I be well, be at peace and at ease. And we make a determination to dedicate our effort today for freedom, for liberation, for Nibbana. May I be well, at peace and at ease. And then go back to silence. Come to ring the bell, and we're going to come out from the meditation. And we're going to chant the sharing of merits. Please join in if you know the chant. It's always good to be able to share merits. That is the goodness we are sharing with all beings. And hopefully it will be bigger and bigger and get bigger and bigger. May the merits made by me, now or at some other time, be shared among all beings here, infinite, immeasurable, by rejoicing in this cause, these gifts of merits given by me. May beings all forever live a happy life, be free from hate, and may they find the path secure, and their good wishes all succeed. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. I think one more thing we're going to do is I'm going to chant a blessing. So wishing all of you will bring this a bit of peace, a bit of the aspiration to practice goodness in your life back to wherever you are, and be a shining light, shining with goodness wherever you go. Sabba roga vinimuto, sabba santa bhavajito, sabhavera-matikanto nibbutto cetavambhava sabitiyo vivajantu sabbarogo vinasatu mate bhavavantarayo sukhi dīghāyugo bhava abhivadana sīlisanicham udapachayino chattaro dhamma vadanti ayuvanu sukhang balang bhavatu sabba mangalang rakhantu sabba devata sabba buddha nubhavena sabba dhamma nubhavena sabba sangha nubhavena sada soti bhavantu te. And now to finish off the day, I don't know what you normally do, but we can do Arahant, or what do you normally do?
Yes, we can do Arahant, but I think a few,
question.
one or two people asked if they could offer you requisites or something. So I'm not sure you want to do after the Arahant or...
probably after.
After, okay.
Let's finish close the retreat by paying respect to the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. And then, I don't know, I'm aware that we don't have Q&A, but we can ask, so do whatever we want to do. So those who like shipping Arahant
Samma Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhang Bhagavantang Abhivademi Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammang Namasami Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Sanghang Namami. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.